St. Mary's a private school, and everybody thinks a private school way expensive, can't afford to even consider it. Why should somebody consider St. Mary's?
Okay, here at St. Mary's, about 90% of our students receive financial aid. All of our scholarships that we issue through our office are merit-based scholarships, so just by applying to the university, you're automatically applying for scholarships. So we take care of all the work for our students. It's a dual application. All they have to do is send everything in by the deadline, which is January 15th is priority scholarship deadline. So our scholarships range anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 a year, and those are good every year for 4 years as long as they maintain a 3.0 or higher here. So that's just the first part of financial aid. So you have a merit-based scholarship, so class rank, GPA, and test scores are going to be very important.
Right.
And then, of course, you have your FAFSA to turn in, so get that information in. And then, of course, any outside scholarships that you might be bringing in with you from the area or national scholarships. It's important to let us know on that. And so our total cost of tuition this year was about $34,000 a year. That covers housing, food, tuition, books, fees, everything a student needs to have a successful year. The average financial aid package this past year was about $21,000 that we give out.
Now, that's a term that colleges use. They have the financial aid package. Does that mean it's $21,000? Is that $21,000 in free money, or does that include the Stafford loan?
That includes sub and unsub loan, unsubsidized Stafford loan and subsidized Stafford loan, and those max out at $5,500, and so the rest was free money.
That's still a very substantial package.
Right.
Now, if somebody planning, wanting to put St. Mary's on the radar and wanting to know what kind of test scores do they need to get either 4,000 or what you said 11,000, however your top
15,000.
15,000. Do y'all have that published anywhere that they can see that, or is that something you find out after you apply?
It's something you'll find out after you apply. It's we do a combination of things, and so we have a matrix system that we use, and so we calculate their GPA, their class rank, and their test scores, and that kind of gives us the number, and then that falls onto the graph that we use to determine scholarships. Now, if students go to a high school that's not ranked or from a smaller school, but it's still competitive, we do a few special things with them, so we're going to look at mainly GPA and test scores. So the middle 50% of our students on SAT-wise fall between about a 980 to 1180. We only look at the math and the reading, and with the writing we don't calculate the scoring, but we'll just use the writing as a sample writing. Same with the ACT. It's about a 20 to 26 is about where the middle 50% of our students fall. And we do super score, so students that aren't familiar with super scoring, let's say they take the SAT 3 times, or take your highest math, highest reading, put that together, that will be their composite score. Same with the ACT. We'll take the highest score from each subsection, put that together, and that's going to be their composite score.
You super score the ACT as well?
Correct.
Okay, because I know a lot of schools will do that. SAT, not every school will.
Right, we do both the SAT and the ACT. So their first score is going to be the baseline score. They're only going to go up from there. Correct. So I always highly recommend for students to take the test either once or twice, or at least twice, to and send us all their scores. So that usually means a difference sometimes with receiving a scholarship or moving up into the next scholarship program.
Correct. Now, you said earlier what you take into consideration is you said class rank, GPA, and test scores. Correct. Is that right?
Yes, sir. For scholarship purposes.
For scholarship purposes.
Yes. For admission purposes, let me clarify that. For admission purposes, we do we look at the holistic student. So we're going to look at, of course, letters of recommendation, resumes. But for scholarship purposes, we're going to look closely at GPA, class rank, and test scores.
Now, what is the rank? What's the priority of GPA, test scores, and class rank, and which is most important to?
Class rank is going to be, for the schools that rank, pretty important. Test scores is going to be, really all three of them are kind of pretty important. So yeah, the way we use it, so like I said, it's a formula that we use, and so it all depends on the makeup of the school, because I have some schools that I work with that students will graduate high school with an associate's degree, and they come from a smaller high school, and so I don't really look at the rank so much, but their GPA and their test scores are going to kind of come into play, where I have larger schools where class rank is going to kind of come into play. So it's we look at every school individually, so that's why we say we take a holistic approach, because every school is going to be kind of unique in its own way.
Since you mentioned some kids graduate high school with an associate's degree, if they've got a bunch of dual credit versus AP credit, how well does St. Mary's use or give them credit for their dual credit classes?
Okay. We do accept IB, AP, and dual credit, and we accept up to 66 hours of college credit, so more than most universities.
Wow, that is...
So I have a lot of students that come in already with 66 credits.
Okay.
And so they just need to, of course, IB testing, they need a score of 5, 6, or 7 on their IB exam, AP 3, 4, 5, and then dual credit, be passing at the high school and collegiate level, and then be in good academic standings with the community college or university that they're taking the dual credit with.
Wonderful, because usually AP STEAM seems to stand up better than dual credit as far as private schools accepting it.
No, we accept both AP and dual credit and IB.
Okay.
All three.
Wonderful. You've covered everything I wanted to talk about today. Anything else you'd like to tell students considering to come into St. Mary's? Why choose St. Mary's?
Okay. Going off personal experience, I choose.
Oh yeah, because you're a graduate.
I've actually been on campus since fall of 2004. So I was an RA here. I lived here. I worked here during the summers as a summer staff. As soon as I graduated, I moved home I'm originally from Corpus Christi. Moved home for about 3 months and then started working for the university. And so this has been my home for August will be 8 years pretty much. But it's a really great place to really get to know the faculty and staff and really have a passion for what you're looking to learn. I myself was a political science major. I got to actually, for internships, we do require at least 2 internships for most of our students, or for really all of our students who are going into the major. I got to work on a presidential campaign my junior year. Got to meet Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Mike Huckabee within about a month's time.
Wow.
I got some of the pictures up there.
Okay.
And then my senior year, I worked on the city council of San Antonio for about 6 months. And even from the president of the university down to faculty and staff members such as myself, we have an open door policy. So if students have questions, they can just walk right in. They don't have to schedule appointments. We're required to be in our office at a certain time for all of our students, especially on the faculty side. And even the president of our university still taught class to this day. And so you won't find that at most universities where the president of the university takes the time out to get to know students academically. You'll see a lot of our professors eating lunch with our students. And they kind of set the standard for, the president of the university sets the standard for the relationship between students and faculty and staff. He always wants us to be accessible, go out of our way to help our students, and that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with St. Mary's. One of my first classes I had here was, my professor was actually the VP of students that taught the class, and she's still here today. You don't find that a lot of universities where you have your high-ranking university deans or VPs teaching class.
Yeah, they're in the ivory towers doing just their...
Exactly. Everyday administration stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a few of our deans here on campus that are looking to get back into teaching. Even the dean of our graduate school was one of my professors in one of my master's classes that I'm working on right now. He was one of my professors. So, you have the president of the university teaching class, the dean of the graduate student, VP students, and then our dean of our science and engineering technology is looking to get back into the classroom pretty soon. And then you have... our dean of our business school that's highly involved with a lot of our students, as well as our dean of humanities school that play an active hand in internships that are available, setting up partnerships with local businesses or opportunities for our students, or even being a part of the classroom. So it's a really great place to get hands-on learning experience.
Now, with those people teaching classes, are they teaching like big lecture hall classes, 50, 100, 200 students? What size classes?
All right, our student-teacher ratio here is 13:1. Cap all our classes off at 25 students per class. The average class size is going to be about 17 to 18 students per class. Even my senior year, I had a few classes that were about 13 to 14 students. And so, the great thing about it is you get that hands-on experience from your professor. One of the drawbacks, if you wake up late for class or don't show up, we're going to be expecting a call or an email asking where you were today or why you're late.
You're not getting that at UT, are you?
Yeah.
The professor's not going to care if you're there or not.
So yeah, they really get to know you. They know your interests, what you're passionate about, and it's one of the really great things that I enjoyed about St. Mary's and why I continue to be here as well.
Well, Eric, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And thank you again, Eric. That was great information. This is a beautiful campus. As you can see in the background here, it's an old campus, but a lot of new buildings going on. Founders Hall, he's talking about the brand new dorm that's been here a couple of years. After we turned off the cameras, he told me a couple of more things that are interesting around here. Lots of new construction. There's a new athletic complex going in. And also, something that happens with the business classes is each business class gets $1 million real money to invest in the stock market and manage that money, and that is a class project. That's way, way cool. Also, a lot of the internship possibilities are tied into the work-study program. So instead of having a job on campus, your work-study program can be, if you're in the medical area, going to the hospital and working there, or going into in a law firm or something here in town. And so you get off-campus experience in internship, and you get paid for it, get the federal work-study paid for as well. Great information, and hope this helps you with your decision about St. Mary's.